The only comedian I ever watch is Norm Macdonald.
9/11.
And the producers have sought to expand my taste by recommending Nate Bargatze, who is hailed by the Atlantic magazine as the nicest man in stand-up. So that's nice. I have never seen any of Mr. Bargatze's work, so I'm going in with a completely fresh palate. Take it away.
Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point. I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I got to say. I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it.
It's great. That's a good bit. I'm glad because I saw he's a clean comic, and I like clean comedy in principle, but sometimes clean comics aren't very funny. And I never, whenever anyone says, "Well, you got to check out this comedian," and then they show me some clip, and he's not funny, is the problem.
Donald Trump and Martin Luther King, they do have something in common. One had a dream, the other had Eric.
Because I have seen the greatest stand-up of all time, and he's the only one I watch, so I don't. But he's funny. This guy's actually funny. And that experience, I've seen that happen to people. Okay, I'll keep going.
Like if I can go back in time tonight and go back to like the 20s, knowing everything I know right now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you guys would even hear about it. I don't think you would. I just don't, like, because I don't have anything to get, like I would go back and I would see like some guy on an old phone and I'd be like, hey, eventually they have phones you like carry in your pocket. And they're like, yes, like how do they do it? I'm like, I don't know how they do it. I think it's a satellite. They're like, what's a satellite? Oh, I should have even said that. It's like metal. Metal's got to go pretty high in the air. I don't know if you guys are doing it. I don't even know if I could prove I'm from the future. I don't even think I could. I think I would just get stuck because they would want something like, who's the next president? Oh boy.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit because the bit, the substratum of it is, I don't know how things work, but that's a good way to do it. Also, because when you said the 20s, you're waiting for him to be like, there's going to be a war, like Hitler's coming or the Great Depression's happening or something. But no, the thing is, hey, there are like these kinds of phones, but I don't know how they work. That's the whole bit. That was funny.
I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were,
That actually is kind of like a Norm bit. Because Norm was this genius who pretended to be stupid, but then he'd slip in a word. He's like, you're educated, and I'm not educated. I'm an idiot, and I don't know, I'm not. He didn't say he was an idiot. He said, I'm not educated. I'm not learned. But he'd use a word that I didn't know the meaning of, and just kind of wink at you. He's like, I don't know if you all are history buffs or not. That's kind of a similar setup. Okay, next one.
I was a water meter reader. So it's 2001. Obviously, 9/11 happens. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared there's going to be more attacks. We figured they just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are going to poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers to guard the water tanks. I really did this. I stood just in a dark field, alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up.
No weapons, no training.
Yeah, didn't we all? I actually was in New York at the time. So it was a little more real. But people in Palookaville, in the middle of nowhere. Just like, here they come.
Remember that there are, in fact, 2 towers. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1, 1, 11. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1, 1. And there are 9 members on Silverstein's board of directors. That's 911. Which leads us all to the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks. Kyle. Me?
We gotta, put a machine at the bus stop or something, because here they come. There's so much more to say. First, though, go to hillsdale.edu/Knowles. The new year ushers in an abundance of people picking and choosing their resolutions. We all get the opportunity to start the new year fresh, set new goals, tackle new and exciting challenges. So what are you going to do? This year, I encourage you to spend time learning something that you've not learned before, which is why I'm really excited that Hillsdale College, one of my very favorite institutions in the country, is offering more than 40 free online courses in the most important and enduring subjects. You can learn about C.S. Lewis, Genesis, the Constitution, the Roman Republic, the ancient church. I personally recommend Marxism, socialism, and communism, important topics to learn about these days. It is essential that we understand these ideas and historical figures thoroughly so that we can better comprehend their implications and prepare ourselves accordingly, so that we can understand what they were saying, what they were critiquing, how to fight the really bad parts of it. If you're ready to start off the new year with fresh knowledge and a renewed desire to learn, go to hillsdale.edu/Knowles. K-N-O-W-L-E-S. It's free. It's easy to get started. It's one of the most respected institutions of higher learning in the country. Hillsdale.edu/Knowles to start. Hillsdale.edu/Knowles.
She started selling stuff online on Facebook Marketplace. And I found this out from a guy at my front door. I don't even really know what it is. I think it's just putting your home address on the open internet. She doesn't sell used cars. There's not like a big money coming in. She sells stuff that should be thrown away. She sold an old kid's folding chair for $5. Best case scenario, we receive $5. Worst case, our whole family is murdered.
I had this thought the other because I'm cheap, I guess, like his wife. And I thought I should sell stuff. I don't have stuff, old shirts or whatever, I don't know, furniture. And I thought I'll sell it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And I thought, I probably shouldn't dox myself and invite people. It's probably not worth it for the $30 I'd get. Yeah, good point. Next one.
On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. What do? You can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. Or you gotta get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You gotta lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over, bring your truck and some gloves. On the way back, since my buddy was driving, he did not see the dead horse, and I'm like, well, you can't not see it. We're driving, and we get to it, I was like, it's right here. And I pointed, and the horse was standing up, doing unbelievable. One of the healthier horses that I've ever seen. So I learned that horses lay down to sleep. I did not know that.
A nice little zag. I didn't see that coming at the end. All right, next one.
I go into a Starbucks, and I get to the front, and I was like, I'll take an iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And then she goes, iced coffee with cream? I go, iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And she said it one more time. She said, so iced coffee with cream? And at that point, I should have said, what's going on right now? Where are you at in your head? Because I feel like we're in 2 different places. But I was nervous, and there was people behind me, and I was like, cream or no cream? Honestly, I'll give you $20 if you let me leave right now. I cannot, this is the most I can talk about this. I don't even know what's happening anymore. So I paid, I go stand in line, where you gotta wait for your drink. There's like 5 of us waiting for our drinks. So she puts the iced coffee up there first, no cream, and I was like, whatever. I'll just do it myself, like I don't like doing it myself, but I was like, all right, I'll just do it. So before I could get it, she's walked back with a can of whipped cream and she's shaking it.
And I'm just looking at it, like thinking that's someone else's. I'm like, someone's getting whipped cream. That's fun. One of you guys are getting whipped cream? And I look down and she starts spraying the whipped cream on top of my iced coffee. She just yells out, iced coffee whipped cream, yells it out. The other 4 people, they turn their back, like they don't want you to accidentally think that's what they ordered. And I'm just left alone, like, that's what you thought I said over there? You don't think I would have said iced coffee with whipped cream? You think I'm just some nut job?
Yes. It's like when you order a cheesesteak in Philly, like whiz wit onions or whatever. Yeah, that was a funny enough bit. However, the part that was not believable is that's what happens at Dunkin' Donuts. That's not Starbucks.
And I'll have a vanilla, one of the vanilla bull things, you know, some vanilla bull latte kappa thing, you know, whatever you got.
There are coffee chains that behave that way, but I have not found that to be the case at Starbucks. But that minor factual misrepresentation aside, it's good. He's funny. See you next time. He's funny. He's legitimately funny.